Hi everyone, it's Nathara, and today I'm going to be going over the Encore Lightchase Luna Radiance. Some really cool sets in this one. Let's go ahead and look over the items. So you have the Sacred Verdict set, a very cool set, and obviously it's super cool that it comes with a scythe. That is awesome. I'm so excited to get more weapons like this. It's been great having that. It really does bring out all your fantasy vibes, especially this veil. It's gorgeous. It is so pretty. And then of course the necklace is it's pretty, but I think the dye slots are pretty limited on it. I haven't used it in a while. These could not be here and I would not even notice. The socks are cool. I love the thigh highs and the embroidery on them, super pretty. And the shoes are very simple. I think my favorite parts of this suit are definitely the dress, the back piece, and the scythe. And of course we've got the second set, Forgiven Eternity. Great. I starlighted this hair as soon as I got it. It's great. We don't have that many short hairs and this one looks fabulous. Of course the dress, a very short dress. I do like this layered necklace and this tattoo is great, amazing. Love these horns too. These furred gloves. Oh, they're fabulous. And of course this demon tail and then the whip. Oh my god. It makes me so excited to see what other kind of weapons they'll come out with. And that floating heart on the ground, it's cute. And then these socks are great too. And these shoes are so unique. And I'm so happy they gave us something like this because, they're kind of weird, but they're amazing. It really fits the demonic vibe for this. And I'm so happy they went with this instead of some super pointy stiletto shoe. The 4-star is actually really cute. I love the little sheer layer that drapes over your waist and then the little metallic accents. And there's even a little chest tattoo on her. It's so cute. The little handbag, that's so that could be missing and I wouldn't notice. A one-sided earring, great, love it. This necklace is super cute. I love the leaves that wrap around your neck and the teardrop gem, super cute. Love these two-sided anklets, adorable. The shoes are so for me. I feel like they look like a pair of crafting shoes that we've made in the past, or at least that I've made because I try and craft everything. For our loose 6 stars, we get another tattoo. It is on the back, which sucks because, at least for me personally, I never look at the back of my doll. We get this great necklace, which actually has a hairpiece that goes with it. These sunglasses, they remind me of granny sunglasses, the reading ones. For our 5-star limited pieces, we get this other anklet, Dream Treasure. I'm not too crazy about it. It looks a little too stiff. And we get this little necklace. I think I've used this thing a couple times, but not too much. These little rose earrings and this little tattoo. Lots of tattoos in this one. As for our makeup, we get this lovely lace facial paint that goes over the eye. It's really cool. These super fun brows and some more these ones are a bit harder for me to use only because they conflict with my doll's skin tone a little bit, but I still love using them. And we get a nice lip that matches the facial paint. And we get these very springy eyelashes, also another one that I have a really hard time using. And then these two-toned contacts. Now, these actually do have an issue with. They appear very differently, whether you're on mobile or PC, which I will show you, at least the PC side, because they don't look like this on PC. For our ally, we get Larry's Floral Mist card. And for our decom, we have this super cute hair. She's adorable. Oh. Maybe because I have it dyed black and then their second color for showcasing it was black too. The ombre on it is very harsh, as you can see. We also have this cute little 4-star dress. I love this handheld. I know a lot of people are like, why would we need that? But I love this. Whenever it first came out, there was a little bit of a stink on Reddit about it. And I was like, this is great. This is a great piece. Now for our items, we have the Dynamic Pose Dance of Jade. And I obviously didn't get it, but I don't think there was anything in it that I saw worthy of spending all those decom coins on over the other stuff. Yeah, this looks cool, but I think it looks cool because the dress she's on is super flowy and the sleeves make it look awesome. But besides that, I don't really, I've got other poses that give me everything that this is giving me right now. And then we also have the avatar frame, Wreath Tour, and then we have the still pose, Intricate Magic, which I instantly got because I was like, that's adorable. Yes, please. So with the decom coins that I was able to accrue, I was able to get all of these, obviously, and the still pose. And with that, I think it took me, it was 326 pulls, for those of you that are curious about that. And here is our ally card, Floral Mist. For evolving him, you do get this little fabulous cherry anklet, and his evolved pick looks like this. I prefer the default view, you know, just something about it. With it, you do get 3 die slots, and this thing is actually pretty cute. Your first die slot is your metalwork, your second is your crystals, and your third is your 2 little cherries. An adorable little piece. But let's go ahead and get into wardrobe. Also, quick note, there is some bugs with these outfit right now because they updated the dye system. They kind of glitched them out, which is really unfortunate, especially during a styling wizard. But let me go ahead and fix this. Alright, so here is Sacred Verdict dyed all black. Currently, the scythe has a glitch in it where the last dye slot of it simply will not dye. I think it's because it's one of the new dye slots, but it does not matter what color you put on there. So let me change this to red, save dye, dye saved, right? Confirm, yes, I want it saved. It won't save. So that piece is messed up right now, and maybe even, I think the dragonfly is messed up. Because I thought it was dyeable, but maybe I'm going crazy. But let's go ahead and work through this. I'm going to go piece by piece. That way you can kind of see the suit by itself and the pieces by itself to see if they are worth it on their own. Because I know not everyone can pull for an entire banner, and they're only going to get pieces. So first up we have our hair. It is a very long hair with looping parts and braids that come down and braids that run across your forehead. There are 2 dye slots for it. The first is the upper part, and there are some slight streaks in it, and of course the ombre on the bottom, which looks great. It is fabulous, one of the better ones. As for our dress, we do have 15 dye slots, quite a lot. I think this one got updated actually. There are these little crystally wings on the back part that you cannot like change the color of. Really, I think they have an overlay to them, but let's go ahead. The first dye slot is going to be your sleeves right here. The second is going to be the ombre that comes up from the bottom. Your third is the rest of that ombre on the top of the skirt, and the underlayer, kind of like the base layer of this top right here. So with those 2 together, it makes a very pretty fade, but it is one of those fades where it kind of lightens in the middle. Your fourth is going to be that overlayer that went with the third, so it does kind of like, it's a little weird how it works, to be honest, but I mean, you can make some really pretty colors by mixing the 2. Slot 5 is going to be your embroidery work on the top part. Slot 6 is the ombre on this apron type thing, not too sure what to call that piece. Number 7 is the ombre. Again, it's a very nice fade, but it does lighten a bit in the center. Number 8 is your metalwork around your waist. 9 is the belt around your waist. Number 10 is your metalwork that hangs down, and some of the sequins, are they sequins? Something like that, that comes up from the bottom. Number 11 is your crystal work on the top. Number 12 is the crystal work on the bottom of the skirt. 13 is the crystal work on the sleeves and the embroidery. 14 is the hem on the sleeves. And 15 is your light particles. For our socks, we do have 3 dye slots, the first of which is going to be the stocking itself. I really don't like that you can see the hem right here. That harsh red line, that's kind of ugly. Slot 2 is going to be your embroidery. And slot 3 is going to be your crystal work. And for our shoes, the first dye slot is going to be the base of the shoe. The second is going to be the embroidery. The third is the bottom of the shoe. The fourth is your beadwork. And the fifth is the metallic work on the back and on the front. For our veil, we do have 6 dye slots, the first of which is going to be the sheer part. The second is going to be these little embroidered flowers. The third is going to be the hem and then the metalwork on the crown part right here, which I hate. I really wish they were their own dye slots. Slot 4 is more metalwork and more embroidery. Also, I do not like that. Slot 5 is your crystal work on the crown and the veil. And slot 6 is your light particles. So the main complaint I have with this one is obviously going to be that the metalwork and some of the embroidery ties together. I really would have rather all of the metalwork be on one slot and then these other two embroidery patterns be on the same die slot. I really don't know why they did this. It's really hard to use this piece, but it is really pretty. So like that really sucks. So basically whenever I use this one, I do a bunch of white, and that's just how she stays. She stays all white, or at least light her, you know, like any of the light colors would work. And at least you can also do this. You have everything white except for your first die slot where you have the color of the veil. That's still very pretty. And of course you can scale this up, make it really big. It almost looks like, you know, those little canopies that you put over your bed, like if you've ever seen those. It reminds me of that, and I think that's adorable. You can rotate her all around as well, so that is nice if you really don't like oh, that's kind of interesting actually. Someone should make a fit like this. And for our necklace, we do have 4 die slots, the first of which is going to be your metalwork. The second is your crystals. And also there are some undyeable spots that it was hard for me to see whenever the outfit was on, but a lot of this you can't dye, which is weird. But your third die slot is going to be these little medallions right here. And your fourth is going to be these crystals. So yeah, this piece also, this is probably why I don't use it, because I can't dye this silver to a gold. And of course we have our bugged out scythe. The first die slot is going to be the crystal staff part. The second is going to be the ribbon. The third is going to be this metalwork and this crystal work, which I don't like. The fourth is going to be these strings of crystals and then more crystals that decorate. Even on the end of the staff up there, you can see them. Our fifth is going to be more crystals on the end and on the top part. And our sixth is going to be the light particles. And the bugged out portion is going to be the tip of the scythe. Probably one of the most important pieces to be able to dye, because having it stuck just as this color kind of sucks and kind of like throws off the mood, you know? But for now it is bugged, so just know that is happening and report it so they fix it as soon as possible. And now we have our Moonlight Glow back piece. I think it's a bag piece. That means you can move it around and all over, so that is super fun. But the first die slot is going to be the crystal work. The second is going to be the metal work. The third is going to be a few of the crystals that drape around. The fourth is going to be the little metal chains and more crystals and beads. Your fifth is going to be the dragonfly wings and more of the things that drape around. And your sixth is going to be your light particles. And for our floating little dragonflies, you do get 3 die slots, the first of which is going to be the bodies, and they do actually have a very cute ombre on them, as you can see. So these are the tip of the wings, so with that ombre they look like this, and I think they're so adorable. And slot 3 is going to be the little light particles they give off. But you know, even though they are super cute, I just don't use them too often, because in photos they do leave a lot of glitter dust around, and sometimes I just don't want that in my pictures, so they kind of just sit on the back burner despite them being super cute. As for our postures, oops, not that one, you do have not the biggest variety of hand postures for the scythe, to be honest. She mostly stands like that. It'd be cool if she like had it on her shoulder once or twice, you know, but that doesn't really fit the vibes. She's kind of like a sacred looking nun, like holier than thou, not the type to just be slinging a scythe over her shoulder like that. But it would be nice. Maybe one day, you know, they'll give us a punker scythe suit, maybe something that matches like Soul Eater vibes, you know. So this is just a 9-piece 5-star suit. I'm not sure if that is normal or not. I do feel like I went through it pretty quickly though. But it is a nice suit, and hopefully they fix the dye system on the scythe soon, and a few of the undyeable spots. Just make sure if you do have this set, try and report it so they fix it. And unfortunately, Forgiven Eternity is bugged out right now too. So you cannot currently dye the bottom of the dress. It will not save. That super sucks. But again, I'm going to go through this piece by piece. So for our hair, sorry, mine's currently starlighted to be blacker than black. But we have 2 dye slots, the first of which is going to be this top little ombre up here. Again, I love this little ruffled look. It's so perfect. And the ombre on it is wonderful. It kind of adds like a triple layer effect. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really pretty. For our dress, we do have 12 dye slots, but again, number 12 is bugged out. You cannot dye it, but the first one is going to be the top ombre on the dress. Number 2 is going to be your underskirt and your little safety shorts. Number 3 is going to be this little corset part and the boning on the little like wings, I guess, almost mock wings. Maybe that would be kind of funny for a demon suit. Number 4 is going to be some of your crystal work. Number 5 is going to be your bead work. Number 6 is going to be part of the little flower bells down here. Number 7 is going to be that ombre on them, so together they fade like this. The top one does eat most of the bottom one, just so you know. Number 8 is going to be the crystal work. Number 9 is going to be the ombre on the back wings. Number 10 is going to be this little bit of fabric right here and in the center of your chest. Number 11 is going to be your light particles. And number 12, whenever they fix it, is going to be the ombre on the bottom of your dress. So there is some gold glitter that you cannot get rid of, but it's like a shimmer one, which is really pretty. It's not like always visible. You do have to like rotate your doll to see it, except for right here on this main ruffly part. For our socks, we do have 3 dye slots, the first of which is going to be most of the sock. Your second is going to be your glitter and your sequins and some embroidery and even some of your metalwork up here, which is not my favorite. And number 3 is going to be these like spare sheets of fabric that dot the socks. I think those are the only spots. For our demonic demon hooves, super cool, honestly. I love these. Our first dye slot is going to be your fur. Our second is going to be the sequins and the metalwork and the hooves. Our third is going to be these crystals right here. And our horns are in the hat category, so you cannot move them around like hairstyle pieces, but the first is going to be the horns themselves. The second is going to be these little crystals. And the third is going to be your metalwork and your sequins. And again, just like the dress, there is gold glitter that you cannot dye. For our necklace, we have 3 dye slots. The first of which is going to be your bat wings, these little bones, and some of your crystals. The second is going to be these little pearls or like blood droplets on the bat wings. And your third is going to be your metalwork. For our gloves, we do get 3 dye slots, the first of which is going to be the glove portion. The second is going to be your metalwork. And the third is going to be your crystal work. So there is a bit of a overlay dye system with these. It's going to be darker than whatever you dye it. And with our whip, we do have 7 dye slots, the first of which is going to be the cord or the whip part itself. The second is going to be the bones and then your handle. The third is going to be the metalwork on the tip of that handle. Your fourth is going to be the crystal work right here. Your fifth is going to be the flower. And your sixth is going to be the ombre on that flower, so together they look like this. And your seventh is going to be your light particles, and again with the lighter colors it does have like a lightener, so it's not going to be dyeing true to whatever you want it to. I do believe though it does dye nicely in black. It doesn't turn into like a weird gray, and of course you can starlight it to get it to be extra black. Same thing goes with I think the cord, yes. So if you starlight it, you can get rid of that like lightning effect that was happening between the like links of bone, if you don't like that ombre that's built into it. And for our tail, we also do have 3 dye slots, the first of which is going to be the glitter on the tail. The second is going to be the tailbones. And the third is going to be the little crystal. Oh, there's 2 crystals. I've never noticed this one all the way up here. And lastly, we have our trapping flame piece. I'm just going to do it like this. It'll be easier to see. But your first dye slot is going to be the bottom portion down here. The second is going to be these little wisps that pop up right here. And your third is going to be the like little tiny light particles that pop up. And of course, you cannot dye tattoos, but this one is super cool. I love that it goes down the arms and up the neck and over your chest. It looks great. If only they gave us one that like did this on your entire body, like this was also on your legs. I think that would be so cool. And of course on your face too, to like really tie it all in. But that is everything for the Forgiven Eternity set. Again, this one's really nice, and again, please report it if you do have it. So if we make this a team effort, maybe they'll pay attention to us. Now, the postures for your handheld, you don't get many, you get 2, and they're pretty much the same thing, which sucks. It's like really sad. Even if you were like to switch it to a different one, you only get that one or this one. It would be cool to have something else. But, I mean, at least we got the whip, right? And here's the 4-star suit, Mind Oblivion. I have mine dyed all white and gold because that's my jam. But anyway, thankfully there is no problems with the dyes on this suit, though I don't think they typically update dyes on 4-star suits. But this one is fully dyeable if you ignore the silver glitter. She is cute. And of course the single earring up here. Yes, fully dyeable. This one is not so busy, so I'm not going to tear it apart to showcase the dyes. But our first dye slot is going to be the base of the dress. The second is going to be this cute little wrap. The third is going to be these loops. The fourth is going to be your metalwork, which is also going to be this little chest tattoo. And your fifth is going to be the beadwork, or I guess those are crystals. For our shoes, we do have 4 dye slots. The first is going to be your base. The second is going to be your heel and then this loop. The third is going to be your metalwork. And the fourth are going to be these little pearls. For our earring, we do have 3 dye slots. The first is going to be your crystals. The second is going to be your metalwork. And the third is going to be the single crystal right here. For our necklace, we have 3 dye slots. The first of which is going to be your metalwork. The second is going to be your crystals and these 2 little pearls. And the third is going to be this strand of crystals right here. For our itty bitty handheld, we have the base on the first slot, the metalwork on the second, and the beadwork on the third. And for our anklet, we only get 2 dye slots, the first of which is going to be your leather, and the second of which is going to be your metalwork. A very cute little 4-star suit, though I do only use, actually I use the anklet, the dress, the necklace, and the earring, so I only don't use the shoes or handheld. So I do get a lot of use out of this one. And here's our back tattoo, Burning Glow. I know it's a little hard to see. Actually, let me just dye this other suit. Let me go dye this thing black. I know they look so similar. All right, there we are. So everything that's left, white and gold, is still just your back tattoo. But again, it is just a back tattoo, so most of the time you probably won't even be able to see it, but it is really pretty. And here's our necklace, Starlight Dream. She is just a wavy little necklace that goes around with a bit of stuff that drops off the back, which is gorgeous. She does have a bit of an oil slick texture or overlay to her though, so that sucks. But your first dye slot is that wavy bit. Your second is your pearls and main crystal. And your third is your metalwork, or at least the rest of it anyway. A very cute piece. And the piece that goes with it, or at least that I think goes with it, no, they definitely go together, look at that, is Sacred Dome. I can't remember where that is off the top of my head, but they do look like they go together. Which leads us into our grainy glasses, Midsummer Ocean. Fully dyeable, with our first slot being the glasses and the beads and the metalwork and the crystals. Gross. Our second being the lenses. And our third being the top part of the glasses up here. I really wish there was more like customability with these because they would be more usable. And plus, now that we can shift them down to be actually over our face, it'd be just better if, like, you know, this slot didn't dye like dang near everything, you know? And for our anklet, we do only have 2 dye slots, the first of which is going to be your little bow, and the second of which is going to be everything else. So I don't know, she's cute, but I just don't use her. I think I've only used her once. And here is our necklace fluffy gift. It also only has 2 die slots, the first of which is going to be your fabric in the center of the flower, and the second is going to be your petals and your leaves, making it fully dyeable if you are okay with having that big balloon flower on your neck. Next we have our little 5-star earrings, Rose Whisper. Again, they only have 2 die slots, the first of which is going to be your crystal and your rose piece. The second is going to be your metal work on it. I don't know why these 5 stars only have a couple die slots. I feel like that's pretty scummy. And our last loose 5-star piece is a little sheep armband tattoo. I don't really have much to say on that. It's just a few sheep in black and white. Is cute on black and white outfits though. And here is our Inky Wings facial paint. It is lace with a butterfly and some like little loops on the cheek with gems hanging down. A very cute piece. It looks wonderful on pale skin, though if you do have like a distorted face, do know that it is going to morph the lines of the facial paint. On the darker tone, it does come out more gray cast. It's not quite dark enough, but you can still see it. But it's just not all that usable on like for the details anyway. You can definitely use it as a eye topper over an eyeshadow because some of the eyeshadows come with a lot of glitter, and I know I use this one to cover up part of the eyeshadow sometimes because I just don't like it, so it is good for that. And here's our glazed feather eyebrows. I love these eyebrows. I love getting weird eyebrows like this. They can really just elevate a makeup look and make it so much more fun and interesting. I hope they keep giving us weird eyebrows like this. And again, here's another weird brow, Drunken Reverie. Again, I do really like these brows, but they are just a bit harder for me to use, but I still have used them, I hope successfully. Next up, we have the Contacts Odd Star Iris. As you can see, at least on PC, the built-in halo is so obnoxiously bright, you can hardly see the color of the contact in there. And I've seen people post pictures of what the contacts look like on mobile, and it does not look like this. And here are our eyelashes, Floral Code. Again, they are super pretty. I love the green lashes with the little flowers, but they just are a bit more difficult to use because, you know, there's not like a bright eyebrow. I think that's what I need. I need a bright green eyebrow to go with these, and we just don't have any. This may be obvious, but I like things to be like either in 2 tones or 3, and I don't like to go beyond that too much. So even like my doll, I have her with like, I try to make her hair, her skin, and her eyes the same color. Right now I've got the contrast up a little bit because I was doing a Cheshire Cat cosplay and I needed them to be a bright yellow, but I want all of her to be like the same color. So whenever I have like my hair and my eyebrows and my eyelashes, I want them all to match, and we just don't have an eyebrow that matches this green yet. So that's just all on me personally. And lastly, for our makeup, we have Floral Nightmare. This does come in 4 different shades: Dried Moon, Faded Dust, Nightmare, and Blossom. And you can have the option to either overlay them or not have an overlay on. I'm not a big fan of this lipstick because of the texture on the lip itself. I always turn the dye all the way down to kind of like calm that down because they just look super cakey and a little chapped to me. I don't know, there's too many lip wrinkles, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see all that. Smooth that out a little bit. But here's our first dye slot all the way up and all the way down. Here's our second slot down and all the way up, third up, and all the way down, fourth down, and all the way up. And here's our decom hair, Flame Throw. Again, from the display of it, you can see that there's 2 dye slots, and the ombre is so very harsh. I never use this one as a 2-tone. I always just dye it a single color and call it good. And here's our dress, Floral Swing. Comes with black and white in the base color, so that is excellent news in case you were worried about not having enough decom points to extend the palette, unless you really want red or any of these other colors. But here she is, all black. And our first dye slot is going to be the base of the dress, and there is a bit of an overlay-ish with the flowers right here. Our second is going to be those flowers, and you can see how that overlay kind of worked. Let me see. So it's kind of like the flowers are the overlay on top of the base color of the dress. And slot 3 is going to be the leaves. And it is one of the ones where if you put a coat on, it will chop off that like extra little flare if you put on a coat. That works, you know? So that's nice if you don't like that little extra fabric that goes over the shoulder. And here is our newspaper in all black. I should probably show it in what it looks like normally, but I mean it does just look like a newspaper. So there's that. You do only have 2 die slots, the first of which is going to be your base paper color, and your second is going to be your writing. And here's our Decompose Intricate Magic. She's very, very cute, and she works with a number of staffs. Well, not that one. I thought she did work with that one, but this still looks pretty cool just because the scythe is so cool, you know, it kind of matches the vibes of it. So the sword works. The Fairy Verdict one, for some reason you can't use the base, but I think most of these items are going to, like, you're going to be able to use them, but it's going to be nitpicky on which staffs actually go into the staff position. Forest Fairy works. Rite of Irises. Well, I kind of like this pose with this bamboo thing. That's cute. Rose Abysm works. Wish Igniter works. Amazing Brush works. Whimsy Tale. Lime Imagination. Heavenly Order. Echo Preview. Crystal Staff. Innocent Wand. Unruly Song. Witch Chapter. Candy Story. Of course, the Star Chase staff works, but that's the item it comes with as the default. Maybe that works, it's hard to tell. So basically just your staffs work with this one. And I do believe that is everything for the Luna Radiance light chase. I hope you found this helpful and useful in deciding if you would like to pull on this banner or wait for one of the new ones that are going to come out, or maybe one of the reruns that are coming up. You can always check their socials to see what is coming up next, or you can join a Discord channel that talks about spoilers and everything if you're interested in that as well. But as always, I will talk to you later. Bye bye.